Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. I want a good steed under me like my forefathers before. I want a good mount when the bugle sounds and I hear the cannons roar. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. Well, I want a horse and a volunteer force that's riding forth at dawn. Please save for me some gallantry that will echo when I'm gone. I beg of you, Sarge, let me lead the charge and the battle lines are drawn. Let me at least leave a good hoofbeat that remember loud and long. Well, I'd not a good foot soldier make, I'd be sour and slow at march. And I'd be sick on a navy ship and the sea would leave me parched. But I'll be first in line if they let me ride, by God, you'll see my starch. Low back o'er the heath with the laurel wreath underneath that victory arch. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. Well, I want a good steed under me like my forefathers before. I want a good mount when the bugle sounds and I hear the cannons roar. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. Let me earn my spurs and the battle's blue and the day is lost or won. I'll wield my lance as the ponies dance and the blackguards fire their guns. A saber keen and a saddle carbine and an army Remington, where the hot lead screams with the cocoa steel and maybe a cavalryman. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. And I want a good steed under me like my forefathers before. I want a good mount when the bugle sounds and I hear the cannons roar. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if I must go off to war. Let them play their flutes and stir up my boots and place them back to front. 'Cause I won't be back on the riderless black and I'm finished in my hunt. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry, but I won't ride home no more.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be working more on Eagles and Rifles, Hymn of the Ogre. Didn't get really anything done, unfortunately. Yesterday the video happened, my mom wanted to have dinner, so I had dinner with her, and then by the time I got home, I'm like, oh, I'm going to stream. So I did. Saw that MCDM, and that was funny. Yes, I added MCDM on Twitter because Matt Colville, our favorite human being alive, Matt Colville, has decided to perform a innovative new strategy of telling people about his streaming habits. Effectively, he's going to now be streaming live his game design of his brand new game. I think it's like supposed to be like Legend of the Five Rings. I think. I don't really know. It's supposed to be like Legend of the Five Rings 4th edition, 5e edition. It's kind of wacky. Kind of wacky in that regard. So that's one thing I've been following. I've also been doing some, actually I've been doing some light work. I meant to show this yesterday, but I kind of got a little distracted. Let me see, it would be Spider-Man games, is that it? What was that one? Let me find it real fast. Somebody was posting it. Ethical, I need you, my friend. I'm a fool, I know nothing from ethical. Tell me more, Ethical. You posted a dude the other day. You posted a dude man, and that dude man was doing stuff. Let me try to find that dude man. We've been having very long and convoluted conversations today. Let's see. Show me that Twitter post. People are posting homoerotic men. That's how it goes. People are posting Clip Studio Paint things. The Cities Without Number guy is using AI art in his project. Ah, here we go. Fighter Guy Studio. This is it. This is the guy I was talking about. Yes. Hello. Oh, hey, hello. Just sounds like the guy copying you. No, he isn't really. Oh shit. Fighter Guy Studios. Yes. This is Fighter Guy Studios. He did this post yesterday. You know, I'm out of the publishing business. You know, Brains and Brawn SSTTRPS was created because I wanted something I can easily pick up and play. And let's see, I poured so much of myself into these games to make it work, and it just didn't. Kept hurting myself. And I don't have the spoons. Tired. It's a hobby that's supposed to be fun, so this isn't anymore. So I did a little bit of digging. Who is Fighter Guy Studios? Who is this guy? Who actually liked this post? Hello, Jervis. Yet again. So I did a little bit of looking. I'm like, what is this game? I'm like, oh, I remember seeing this actually. Very lightly. Very, very lightly I used to see this. This is Brains and Brawn. Genre agnostic, fully functioning, super simple TRPG that has 4 pages of rules using a few 10-sided dice, and anyone can learn the system in 5 minutes. It could be whatever you want it to be. And it's a system to be learned in 5 minutes. It's free. You gotta remember that it's free. However, all of the expansions are $5 a piece, which I thought was quite fascinating. So if you want to go to Sticks and Stones, for example, you have to be. It's $5 Canadian. You know, the Sticks and Stones, Brains and Brawn SSRTR, between the shoes of them early human. Did we mention dinosaurs? Yeah, this is Yabba Dabba Doo. This is the kind of like an like that was his plan, I think, was to do like little expansions more than anything. Yeah. Find it more fascinating than anything. You want to do this D6 edition? And I'm tempted. I wanted to go over it. How this man pays for Adobe unironically. Despair. Is it good? I don't know. I'm gonna go over it probably tonight, along with Flabbergasted. And you know, if it's 4 pages of rules and no setting, then why do you need the books? Good question. Very good question. So the interesting note is that we had, you know, this gentleman here, and he was posting on Twitter. You know, he's just like, oh, I'm so sad. And now some of the weirder things that he posted, last few releases, quite frankly, gone absolutely nowhere. Heck, I gave away 5 copies of Kith and Kin Vampires. Only 1 was actually downloaded. Or so much of myself and my heart into these games and work. I see the market is packed with games, and quite frankly, it's just too much. I've paid for advertising. I've never heard of this game before. I have never actually heard of this game before him posting that it's Jover. Not once. I don't know where he's been advertising. I'm quite curious. He's like, oh, I'm tired of disappointment. Like, my brother in Christ, you have made a system agnostic tabletop game for nothing. Unless this is literally a clout thing. Like, this is like him being like, it's so over, everybody. Looks like he's still posting stuff. Like, oh, it's so over. And, like, that's it. Just to get more, like, people to join up. Like, that's the plan. I'll go over it. Just to say that I have. But yeah, I think that's it's worth talking about because I'll give you all a hint for what tomorrow's stream is going to be about. I am fascinated by death. I am curious about it. It always interests me that things die, passion dies, hope dies. I find that so interesting. I'm not meaning that as like a, slit my wrist, be like, oh, I'm so edgy. No. I mean that more in the sense of like, what happens to like really break a fucker, to make a 10-point post of saying like, I've paid for advertising of my 4-page nothing burger game. Like, what's the point here? Like, what are we doing? And I'm curious. Speaking of dying, I'm in the market for a new title for my game. Any suggestions? Undying Metal was I liked Undying Metal personally. That's my thing. It's nice and it hits home pretty hard. But don't legitimately never consult me on naming. You're looking at the man who was like, yes, Project Tactics is a great fucking name. Project Sidewinder, great fucking name. Yeah, no, I'm fucking terrible when it comes to names. We're looking at Eagles and Rifles. Yes, exactly. Because it's exactly what I was thinking. Like, Eagles and Rifles. Hymn of the Ogre. Alright, cool. A+ material here, everybody. Didn't do any of the lore bits that I thought I was going to try to do. I just literally sat there and was like, nope, not doing this tonight. And played MCD and felt sad. What is this game about? This game, in particular, is about nightmares, but you should actually give Ethical his pitch. Go Ethical, give them the pitch. I thought they were talking to me as this is my stream. But go for it. Nah, go for it. Explain people your game. Oh, I don't know who the fuck's talking to who. This is the best part about streaming, is I have no idea who's talking. Okay. Let's break it down. Ethical, please explain to us your game. Please explain your game. Why would I be talking to you, dude? Ow, my bones. Yes, come on, Ethical. Explain your game to us so we can give you a cool new name. While I work on my own. Oh god, scratch. All right, I can do this. You fool! You godforsaken creature! A general 3d6 cyberpunk system with emphasis on gear customization. Bam! What are the themes? What are the themes? What are the stories? What are the things that you want to do? Sadness? Is it sadness? Is that a theme? Stories need themes. They need ideas. They need things to bind it all together. Hold on. Fighting in anger in an unfixable world. The commandant on the staff are... Yeah. Are the closest thing to a fate. Commandants and their staff, the commandants and their staff are the closest thing to a face the Ogre Company possesses. Ogre Company has. While it would be Colonel, it would be the Colonel. Colonel, I need help. Colonel. Yeah, technically it would be the Colonel, right? No, it wouldn't be the Colonel, would it? It would be a Brigadier, I think. I would go with Brigadier. I think that because it's technically like a brigade. Well, the Brigadier is the de facto. is the de facto leader of the entire company. Well, the leader is the de facto of the entire organization. The commandants will find themselves as officers, as both officers on the field and heroes in the find themselves both officers on the fields and in back rooms. Personal abilities reflect the commandant, reflect the officer, reflect the commander, the officers. Reflect the nature and skills the officer has in the battlefield of this in the social battlefield, whether that's dueling rivals or outsmarting a quartermaster, or outsmarting understanding locals whose language is impossible to learn, or understanding locals who don't speak their language. So it's kind of the idea, like, this is more of you, like, on the field. So let's see. Officers especially skilled in personal abilities are the masters of the courtly wars and So mind the commander, the officer's ability to actually acute knowledge and mental prowess. Let's see, acute knowledge and mental prowess. Acute knowledge, mental prowess, quick wit. Scholars are adept at mind. The officers. Officer's constitution and bodily function. No, let's see. Physical. What's a good physical? Bodily, corporeal, flesh, somatic, material, substantial, bodily. Let's Constitution. Also reflecting their skill at personal combat. What would be a good fighters, scholars. What would be a strong? Mm. Who's tagging me? Who wants to talk? Here comes the men. Oh, people are talking. Top Gear, reveling in the Embers Dying World. Their ass is freezing in North Dakota. Is that a good name? Let's take the Undying Metal for now. I have a domain name already. Not really. That's okay. I forgot something yesterday. Came on. I don't know if you'll be too much to add specialization to the game I'm working on. I'm like it's Saga. Also, I'm strongly considering on having players pay for racial abilities. Not my particular thing, but I understand why people might want that. Weaker races should pay the price. Keep OP racist in check is that they have to pay a lot of points to get them. I know what you're saying there, Solid. In that case, I wouldn't say like pay for individual abilities. I would say pay for like the package deal of a particular race. Hey, I'm playing someone who's super strong, super powerful, and has laser eyes. Then maybe, yeah, we should, maybe you should pay for that a little. However, if I'm just playing a regular character, I'm playing it like dwarf, I probably won't have to pay anything. Let's see, the officers. Charisma and let's see, being a combination of understanding others as well as themselves. What would it be? Dilettante. Courtiers. We want to do pretty much a guy who does things. Actually, we can do I think courtiers. Courtiers. Oh, yeah. We do that. Courtiers. That's a fun word to say. We do these, so we get kind of a basic idea of how these are, and then we start going into fire, which is one of the most important things to consider is the ability. Let's see. One of the most important things to consider is the ability for the officer to guide their men without their guidance, wisdom, and aura of guidance, wisdom, and authority. They would surely break in the face of overwhelming odds. Overwhelming odds. The brigadier will assign grand orders and plans, but it is up to the commandant and their staff to push their men forward and succeed no matter the cost. Officers who are talented in the field, talented in the military, in their military abilities. Military abilities are at home on the field, are at home on the field, allowing them to successfully turn any battle in their favor. However, this being a warrior covered in gore is rarely a good sign to those who sign the checks. There's rarely a good look to those who sign the payment. So it's kind of like the idea being like, you can have social abilities, you have these more personal abilities, like this is you, not anybody else, this is you. While your military ones are a lot more like, hey, you're really good at being in the field and you're a very competent person in that regard. You don't necessarily how the game kind of works in some of its fields, it's like you can't really be like super adept at everything. You're going to have to make a compromise somewhere. So it's like, yeah, I'm really good at leading my men. Unfortunately, I've kind of lacked on my own personal development in some ways. Oof. Ah. Ooh. Ooh. Drink some coffee. Delicious Kovefi. Okay, so fire the officers. The officers' technique of directing their men to aim fire and keep on target in the heat of the combat. Riflemen and line infantry. Riflemen benefit from high fire. So it's kind of like, hey, not necessarily like, oh, these kind of people have this. No, it's, hey, you benefit from this. The officers. The officers' technique, talent, synonym, tell me fucking words, aptitude. The officer's aptitude. Spirits, keeping the men's spirit high and pushing onward, even in the face of oblivion, as well as breaking the enemy's morale with steadfast resolve. Cavalry and line infantry. Let's be honest with ourselves. Cavalry and line infantry benefit from high morale. Line infantry benefit from a lot from it, mostly because you're going to be taking the most amount of damage. Whilst crushing enemies, benefit from. Actually, no. Cavalry benefit from high morale. Shock. Actually, no. We'll say infantry. We'll say infantry, and then we'll say cavalry benefit from high shock. Because we're going to do the officers. We go up here. Knack. The officers knack for encouraging their men to fight harder, faster, and more aggressive. Killing the enemy. Extreme prejudice. With extreme prejudice. Striking the enemy down with extreme prejudice. Infantry benefit from cavalry. Cavalry benefit from high shock. Don't need these anymore, so we need to act for pushing their men and to fight harder, faster, and striking the enemy and aggressive, striking the enemy down with extreme prejudice. There we go. Cavalry benefit from high shock. So generally speaking, we should make a, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to do insert table 1 by 1. We're going to put an example character right here just so we know how it goes. In example, what's a good? Yo, what shock? Yo, what shock? Portuguese name generator. Tell me more about the Portuguese names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Antonio, Faustino, Enrique, Piarosa, Glaco, Alvarez, Horatio Neves. How about that? An example: Horatio Neves, Commandant. Horatio Neves. Using the chaos of life method. Our example commandant has the following. Actually, each ability has a commander roll 1d6 to determine the outcome. The commandant has a +1 to 2 of their attributes, 2 of their abilities. So, our example commandant has the following. So, mind, physical, social, fire, morale, shock. D6, 5 mind. We're quite intelligent. We're quite strong. We aren't very social. We're very good at firing. See, this is what happens when we're allowed to have nice things. We have 4 morale. We have 2 shock. Half of me wants to make this a little bit more accurate. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna use the heroes and using the heroes and villains. Following. So we want to be. We're gonna make an infantry. We're just gonna make him an infantry guy. So we're gonna say 3, 3. So 3, 4, 3. So we're done with this. We're good here. We're not very strong. Actually, we are there. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 3, 2. There we go. We'll put 1 in here. These are our stats. These are our very pre-assigned basic stats. They're not the best, but they aren't the worst. They definitely work. So, generated this, and we're going to make this the simple way we can, doing some finagling. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, merge these together. We're going to do that. You just need to do, you need to go. Duration of as commandant. We could probably do. Wanted to be really precise about things. I could probably do. We select both of you down here. We do middle, center, and then we do 2, 3, 2, 2.5. We can do 2.5. There we go. It's a nice little square. Cool. We've understanding what his stats look like now. We get it now. We good. We Gucci. We are, as they say in the hood, Gucci. These are the command staff. Randomly roll a military and civilian skill representing personal. See, now we have two options. We can either change out the entire nature of the skill system, or we can change out the nature of. Pretty much, it's like, do we sub out the nature of the skill system, or do we change something else? Also, thank you very much, Pedigree 81555555555555 for following. Oh, I don't really know. This is always one of those fun parts where I get to debate with myself of what the actual appropriate situation would be. If we want to be branded a whole new world, what we can do is maybe like a budget life path system. That could work. Like a really budget bad life path system. What do I mean by that? We can do like, what, early, like every bit you get like a different skill or something, maybe? Like, how do we get people to be more connected to their character? This is already a very light game. That's a very important thing to understand. This is a very light game, all things considering. How do we get people more invested in their character as a skills? Tell me more about skill system. General attribute, okay. Fucking Redditors! I need, what am I looking for here? Because the best way to think about it is anytime you are off the field, anytime you're 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 off the field, anytime you are effectively in a fucking visual novel. Like, it's a very, you know, narrative adventure, and that's the point. It's supposed to be a very narrative, you know, kind of adventure, and with how you learn with people kind of things. And dealing with other people and kind of trying to prepare for the next fight. When the next fight is up, that's when you switch to soldier mode and your skills stop meaning a lot. It's more about your abilities and your men, effectively. How well can you guide your men to victory? You might die. You might not die. There's a lot of problems that can go on. That skill system needs to be light enough because that visual novel, quote-unquote, aspect of the game isn't going to be the primary one. You're going to obviously grow as a person, but you're going to be more slowly, you know, kind of gaining things. I wonder, is there? What is there? What is there? Is there a game that does this? Is there another game that does this? And if it is, what game would it be? Kind of like this general mode and this not general mode. It would be, what am I looking at here? What am I thinking of here? Is there something else I'm looking for? Part of me is thinking like we go with like the zombies and ziggurats method, where we treat skills as like a package deal, effectively. You just write them in whatever it is, and that's just the thing you have. Another part of me thinks that's not correct. Or do we keep this skill chart here? Okay, here's what we can do. Okay, now here's what we do. So we've established our personal abilities. We've established that. So next we're going to do commander skills. So I want this to be a little bit more important. Commander skills. Commander skills. A commander is not a fresh-faced soldier. Actually, I should write that in. Commander has a history. One that they may be trying to escape. One that they may be trying to escape, or one that they are inevitably marching toward. These at the start of the campaign, the commander will have a total of three skills representing their previous experiences and ability. Their previous experiences with others and previous experience with others and their own talents. Anytime a skill becomes relevant to a check, they will add a plus 1d6 to their they'll add plus 1d6 to their check. And that doesn't seem to, well, actually, no, we can do 2d6 to their check. They'll add plus 2d6 to their world, allowing them to tap into their own knowledge of the world around them. So we've established this. We can keep the skill chart, but we're going to use that in a different context. So we're going to be using this as early life. The most defining aspect of a commander's early life the most defining aspect of a commander is often where they hail from. This background information, this background they possess. Is this right? Fuck. No, this is correct. This. Okay, maybe if we do fucking burning wheel. Yeah, wow, yeah, no, not quite. Wow, thanks. I hate this. No. You remember the OP race of Aladdin elves? Luca's asking me why I'm adding races to the point by. Yeah, I get that. I remember you talking about that. It's generally speaking, I've seen this before when you're talking about the idea of like some races are just better in certain ways. I'm not saying this in like the idea of like I think white people are better than black people. No, I'm saying this more along the context of like this is a race of this is a fantasy race that has the ability to turn to stone and block all attacks. Yeah, that's a little bit better than everybody else. Hey, these dwarves have the natural ability to do a bunch of different things. They have just a bunch of powers and things. In D&D for a long time, they were called. They had to take monster classes effectively, like monster levels, and you were usually at a deficit, effectively a level deficit for taking them. So you have to be like level 8 to take a If you were level 8 and you played a centaur, I believe, or something like that, you would only have like level 2. You'd be a level 2 fighter, but you'd have 6 levels of being a centaur. It's if you want to do something like that, either you do go down the idea that like being part of a certain race gives you access to certain abilities, and you have to kind of pay for those, or you go down the idea of if I want to play a overpowered race that has a lot of benefits to it, I have to pay the cost early on. It's like, that's just something because like I'm not going to be as developed as somebody else. That's kind of depending on how you want to approach that. You don't see it. You don't see it very often anymore. This background they possess is often where they hail from. In the princedoms, actually, in the new and old world, where the commanders are from, determine a few notable aspects. Not only what they look like, but also their native language. This skill represents all aspects of being a part of that culture. You know what? We can consult. Do I have it? Is it not? It's not going to be in here. It would be in here. If I have it, this would be great. And I might not have it. Just open the folder. General systems. Do I have it? Where are you? Are you? I bloody know who you are. Where in God's bloody name are you? Solar. No, where are... I don't have this anymore. Where are you? Solar system TTRPG. Tell me more about the solar system. Yes, Arkenstone Publishing. This is the solar system. I'm not paying you $5. You view in library. This is what I'm looking for. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We gaming. Woo! Give me that. Cause this has a thing that I'm talking about. Cause I'm not fucking crazy, I'm a sane person. Ooh, general system. I don't know why I didn't have you in there to begin with. That's kinda silly of me. I should be paying attention, cause I'm not a fucking stupid moron. Someone's pinging me again. Who's pinging me here? Someone in Dead Tree Studios is pinging me. Hello, Dead Tree Studios. What can... someone just added everybody in it because they're fucking stupid. Let me see. Let me just post a no. Let me just post a good old-fashioned no to everybody because I don't believe in having a good day. First rule of Notepad add-ons experience: don't say hello. Second rule: don't deal with me. Third rule: we don't annoy Notepad. So the system isn't really my point of view, but I kind of enjoy some aspects of it. Ability ranks, character background. This is the idea of the character background. Or cultural identity. This is the idea of having a cultural identity. This is what I'm kind of talking about. It's like by virtue of being a part of this world, this is who you are. Like, this is just who you, like, modern Finns technically know how to ski, skate, use computers, and speak English and some Swedish. They have Western humanistic value set with Lutheran religious background. All men possess basic martial skills from mandatory military service and tend to have basic wilderness skills as well. In cultural skills, women of Western Kingdom of Merona are prohibited from working outside their homes or learning to read. Yeah. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not going insane. I'm not insane. I'm not crazy. I'm a fool. I know nothing. The skill represents the aspect of being part of that. Being part of that culture and culture and a background. What they may look like, but also this native language. For those raised in different cultures from their quote home culture, they're the one they were raised in is their background, is their early life. Is their early life skill. Actually, so what we can do is we can go over here, which we can do a little bit of lore bullshit going on. We can do the Amatanians. We can do Amatanians. We can do Amatanian. What is being an Amatanians about? It's a survival skill. It is Amatanians, a native. Amatania, native to Amatania. Are open and honest with others, hardworking in their physical, in their resource economy. hearty in their dower, a jovial in their parties, and connection to the land, and have a connection, and have a strong connection to the land. Kosovarian, 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 Kosovaria. Kosovaria is a tough land. It's a tough land of nomads and nomads and raiders. They know how to ride, and they know how to ride. They know how to hunt, and they know how to hunt. They are they are all around them, and fanatically and dislike their neighbors, and actually around them, and are very private, and are private people. They don't like being around other people as much. There's the Cossins. Cossin, Emetanian, Cordoberia, Cordoberian. Fun failed. Dour, cold, and brutal. Quarterbarian culture is one of camaraderie. And independent streaks. They dislike being told what to do, and have a near soup, and have a strong get their hands on. They just like fighting. They like weapons. They like killing people because that's who they are. Do we even want to do this? I don't think I've fleshed these out enough to do. Right thing to do. I do not know. God damn it. Consume poisons and inject poisons. Having any kind of poison is bad. The idea of Kosovaria is that they were literally Cossacks. Is kind of how I modeled them. They were an entire culture of just very dour, very like fuck you and the horse you rode in on kind of people. They do not want to be fucked with. They don't want to fuck with other people as much. They just deal with their own thing, and it's like, yep. And pretty much picture people coming in to building a castle, being like, "This guy is your new lord," and everyone's like, really now." Really? Really he is he? You know, it's or do we not, or do we want sound more brutal if they were simply called Kosovar? Kosovar is supposed to be if I'm yeah, the Kossan people. Kosovaria. Yeah, it's how it goes. I've been debating heavily right now about how to do the fucking skills. God damn it. I always hate it when I get stuck on things like this. Because I know what I want to see here, because it's like, oh, I have a skill at doing this. I have an ability of doing this because I'm a talented person and not stupid. Like I am adept at doing a thing. And how do I represent doing this thing well? And I'm like, should we do like a cultural thing? That's the, I don't know. Because I kind of want to be like the idea that like, the commanders don't really give a shit where they're from anymore. They don't really care. Because why would they? They're a mercenary. They're effectively a mercenary company drawn from anywhere and anyone. They're just people who fight. So maybe we... Do I have anything else in my folder maybe that could help with this? Do I have good old-fashioned just really focused thing? Because like the only other, like the thing is, the problem is like the games that would be like a banner of the fucking maid. Is this like a game that I would have to reference? This is a fucking Chinese game about female Napoleon Bonaparte. Like, I'm not shitting you either. This is Banner of the Maid is female Napoleon Bonaparte goes, you know, about trying to be gay as fuck with everybody around her. That is legitimately the plot. Yeah, it's have no fear. Yes, my favorite, my favorite, you know, class of, you know, this Franco, a bit, you know, this Franco-Chinese, you know, strategy game, the Oriental Pirate, you know, it's like, of course, you know, a fucking course. I don't think this is correct, because they don't have any fucking skills or anything. This isn't how the game is supposed to be played. It's supposed to be like this, like line infantry, it's cannons, it's things like that. That's the idea, that's the point. If we were referencing that, but I mean, if we have, and the other one was EU4, but that doesn't sound right. What am I looking for? What am I thinking of? Leave to eat, come back to game, female Napoleon Bonaparte. What did I miss? Should I differentiate between consume poisons and inject poisons? No. Having any poison is bad. Injecting and consuming, I would say, like, if you're making it something like that, maybe make injecting poisons a little bit more direct and a little bit harder to overcome. But that would be a difficulty thing, not necessarily like a differentiating on the mechanics. I'm trying to figure out skills, McDrewsalt. That's the plan. I'm trying to figure out skills for this game because I'm splitting at its very core. This game is in two worlds. And that's kind of the way that I wanted to do things, is because I'm like, that's kind of the nature of the conflict. Those are the nature of the things that you're going to be doing. Is on one half you have kind of the, you know, the far more personal, you know, kind of far more personal stories going on, and, you know, the problems that kind of erupt from it. And it's like, okay, we're a bunch of dudes talking to one another, doing dude things, trying to make sure this war that we're in we're all not gonna fucking die. On the other hand is you have the, you know, infinite bodies of soldiers marching in formation to do a thing. Pretty much it's like war mode versus kind of like story mode. These do have a little bit of crossover, obviously, but there's also kind of like the major idea, like, this is a little independent. Skills will only be really part of this. Your troops are really only going to be a part of this. So it's like, how do I make skills feel satisfying, but not overwhelming? You have 2 skills, French and soldier. Apply them as you will. Need a little bit more than that. I get the idea. Fucking 316, fucking Interstellar Army Simulator. Jesus. It's... I'm trying to think of like, what's the... Because the original idea, what the original thing was, is you just had 2 skills effectively based off this skill chart of like whatever was highest, and you would roll and that would be your 2 skills. If it ever came up, you would just add in that skill. Like, this be like what you have. Because again, that aspect of the game wasn't very important. So, and some of these were like, fear factor. What does that fucking mean? I don't know what that means. What was I thinking when I wrote that? Why? Why did I write that? Why am I the way that I am? Like, and some of them were like, oh, you have, an association with high society. People in high society like you. That's the point. They like you. So they want to deal with you more. Hey, you have a high nature skill. So you are attuned to nature. You like being around nature. I don't know how to do this, and it's a little bit frustrating. Because I can see what I want. Pretty much like the idea would be, you're marching through a forest trying to get to a new place. And as you are trying to move to a new place, you're having a scene where it's pretty much just you and the boys fucking around, kind of learning things. You have nature. You can say, hey, I want to, okay, hey, we're trying to scout ahead or do something like that. You can make a nature check. You're learning what's around you a little bit more, and so kind of helping you out in the long run. Hey, you have languages. That. Pick what skills they want to use. That's what I was thinking of doing. Doing it more along the idea of skill sets. But I'm afraid I've been using that method. I'm afraid I've been using that method a little bit more than I should. Because in Zombies and Ziggurats, that's kind of the idea what I ended up doing for skills. The entire idea of a skill set is, if you have a skill set, you can just apply a bonus to it. That's it. You just have a skill set. It's a little bit more open skills. But maybe that's what you gotta do. Maybe that's the plan, and just use the skill chart as like here's a bunch of example ones if you don't know what you want to do, unless you have like a very specific one. 3.5, that's not the correct answer. Really specific skills are not the answer. I know that for a fucking fact. Rest assured, I do know that. I say that as not the correct answer for one very simple reason, is you can die very quickly. That's not really working. No, I can't do that. There aren't actually that much. That's the problem. Honest to God, there isn't actually that much to work with. You know what I can look at, though? Maybe we do Savage World skills. Tell me more about Savage Worlds, because this would be like all your Savage World skills. There aren't many. What am I looking at? Simple skill system. We want a skill system for... Yeah. let's see, temporary, permanent bonuses. And monarch power. Monarchies. Because the thing is, you can end up with getting ruler personalities, which are going to be their own different thing. Yeah. These are all the different, ruler personalities, because you can always get things with these. So if you get tolerant, you get different things. It would effectively be, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, I have a thing. Hey, I've got a thing, maybe do this. Okay. At the start of the campaign. At the start of the campaign. Each officer will have three. We'll have three skill. We'll have two. Each commandant will have three skills. While their majors will only have one skill. Only have one. A skill is written in as a career event, history, or any other factor which influences the character, which influences the commanders, influences the officer's life and skill, influences the officer's life and skills. Each skill is relative. Each skill can be broad in their approach, but not more specific. They may become relevant to the situation at hand. Is this fine? No. Or in the career event, history, or any other factor which influence. A skill is written in as a career culture or background relevant to the commander, to the officer's story. Relevant to the officer's story. These define who they are and how they approach the situation, and how they approach their life. For example, okay, no, I can do this. So we do this here. We'll have three skills, while their majors will only have one. 3 skills. You can call them skills at this point. We can call them histories, personalities. Hmm. Hmm. We want to do. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? Not back skills aren't. I don't think is the correct one. Personality is natures. That could be one. It's a command. It's your nature. It's a little bit janky, but trait. Just commander traits. Traits work. Commander traits. Commander assists when they're trying to escape or they're inevitably marching toward. At the start of the campaign, we'll have a total of 3. At the start of the campaign, there we go. Really marching toward. Anytime a trait becomes relevant, plus you line them, tap into their knowledge of the world around them. At the start of the campaign, each commander will have 3 traits, while their majors will only have 1. A trait is written in as a career, culture, or background relevant to the officer's story. These define who they are and how they approach their life. So, we will do example Horatio Neves. An example. We'll just do a quick little example here. We'll do delete row. Has the following traits. I don't know what the fuck I hit there. I don't know what happened there. Personal abilities. We go down here. We go down here. Hello. Has the following traits. Had some good ones. He's a commandant. We're going to do what's it? Skills again. Actually. To aristocrat. What would be another? What would be a final good one? Classically trained philosopher. He's the son of an aristocrat. He's a school guy. That's the entire thing. What would be a good another background for him? See, anytime I do this, I fucking blank when it comes to traits and skills and shit. I always blank when it comes to this, because I'm fucking terrible at it. We want him to be a schoolboy. That's the entire thing with him. He's a schoolboy everybody likes. I know what we do. Master of pointless knowledge. There we go. Yep, that's how he approaches the world. He's a master of pointless knowledge. Commanders are, if the commanders are stumped on what to stumped on what to give their officer. Let's see. If the commanders are stumped on what to give their officers, consider the culture they are a part of. Consider the culture they are a part of first. Then give an idea of where of their life leading up to the Ogre company, and if all else fails, consult the chart below and roll a d6 for the highest attribute of the highest. It would be roll a d6 for the highest ability of either category and consult of either category. And there we go. So we can kind of be, this is the idea. You're going to be rolling on this chart here a little bit, and it'll be like, oh hey, I have very high mind. I rolled a 4. Philosophy, how convenient. What's my good one on military? Morale. So let's do 6. Soldiering. Okay, cool. I'm soldiering. What does that mean? Maybe I was a soldier. Maybe I was this. Maybe I was this. Yeah, this is some very basic one being like, yeah, this is just who I am. All right. The highest ability of each category. We want to, we can expand that. No, we can't expand that up because of how this is written. Fuck. There we go. But we add in an image right here. If we add in an image right here, do we got a good? Ah. I'm using this as just a way to block this out a little bit. This isn't going to be the final picture, but it'll be a good way to kind of be like, okay, this is what I'm kind of thinking of what's going to go here. Looks a little janky. Or we just say fuck it and do this. We expand this all the way. Classically trained philosopher. Son of an aristocrat. And master of pointless knowledge. Oh, manly co-host, everybody. Bring on the manly. Look, everybody, our bravest tiger ball. Ooh. Hello, phone. God's strongest tiger ball. I was born in the cavalry. We put you right there. Classically trained. We do something like that. We do something like this, so we kind of understand who this guy is already. You know, he's a classically trained philosopher. He's a son of an aristocrat. And he's the master of pointless trivia. He's like nothing value. He is the man that should not be here, but people seem to like him. Even though he has a social of 3 and a shock of 1. He cannot inspire his men to actually kill anything, but he sure as hell knows how to tell them about random facts. He's a schoolboy with a gun. That's kind of the idea. There we go. All right. Can we fit the undying note in? No, we cannot fit the undying note. So we put the undying note here, and we put in an image right here. When we do that, if we put like an image right here, we can make it a fairly large image. And that'll be a good way to end off the section. So we've got a little bit to work with here. We understand how we work, and what we can do, actually, we can add in a second note. We'll add in a second side note. we'll add in a second side note. That side note is going to be side note the hero, the commandant, and the mage. It may seem strange first that the commanders are tasked with managing three whole characters. The commandant and their two majors. This is somewhat intentional. This is intentional. The commandant has earned the loyalty, or at least perceived loyalty of the two majors, and they work well together. The majors can be considered secondary characters to the commandant themselves. However, due to the nature of linear warfare, a bad shot can and will end a commandant's can and will end a career early. It's better to have backup officers than condemn the men to an untimely disaster as their leader meets a grisly end. Yeah, the entire idea is, hey, you gotta remember you're not alone, because there's very, very likely that you will get killed. Hence why we're going to put that after on dying, which is literally everything. Each officer, if a officer takes damage in any way, such as being shot, stabbed, or poisoned, then the officer would die. Will die unless their soldiers are able to drag them away or reach medical assistance quickly. If they're unable to, then they will die. Another statistic. They will mechanically see each officer a bit of leeway after a major injury, seek aid, and to do so, then it is death. However, some deaths simply unavoidable, quickly reducing the officer to a streak of red or leaving them eviscerated upon the ground. One cannot survive a cannon to the chest. There we go. Notepad, we fixed the economy, but I still have 74,000 note coin. I'm glad the economy is working as intended, protecting the minority of the opulent. Yes, I know. The goal ethical was to reduce the amount of note coin currently in circulation. You failed to do that, ethical. You failed to reduce the amount of currency currently in circulation. You are the reason the economy is in shambles. Absolute shambles. I donated in every stream, and you still have more money than everybody. See, I wish I could check. Actually, I'm curious. Let's do a little fun. Twitch. Can you check how much channel points? Can you see how many channel points someone has? No, you cannot reset points at this time. My viewers have earned the most points. No, we're playing Build to see who's earning the most and how much they are earning, but is not available yet. So I can't track how much money you all have yet. What a shame. What a shame. 44,000. See, I kept, like, the goal was to make sure that everybody could have something, that we're all equal in the eyes of the free market, but it turns out, like capitalism really do be that way. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day for terrible content. Oh, gee. Speaking of capitalism, Cities Without Number is probably the best cyberpunk game in the past decade, and I'm sad that it's just not for me. That is tragic in its own way. What don't you like about it? I've never actually gone over any of the Without Number games. None of them really like jumped out at me because I think I got like introduced to them like, oh, it's like OSR. And so I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then just never touched them again. Like, oh, it's OSR. Oh, okay, goodbye. Like, I just didn't. It's OSR. Exactly. So people keep telling me that's like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it just, I don't know. So now we start getting into the nitty gritty nightmare zone. Hello, let's do this together, manly. Fighting unit is term used for the fighting unit is term used for infantry battalion. Not a battalion, it would be a brigade if I recall correctly. No, it would be a battalion. Battalion. Yeah, so this would be the correct one. It would be a battalion. Yeah. Infantry battalion or cavalry squadron fighting in the battle, led by a commandant and their staff. Each unit is built by assigning a series of requisition points, RQ, to the unit's attributes, manpower, and training in the field. And training. The Ogre Company begins with 500 RQ per commander, but the commanders can freely trade their RQ among each other in a shared pool. The RQ may be saved for future expenditures and replacing the fallen. Let's desperate. Yeah, so these men are actually no. The fighting. These men are disparate. Actually, Ogre companies. I would actually say, Ogre companies recruit from anybody, recruit from anyone willing to fight alongside them. Leading to a mishmash coalition of men in the field fighting for pay and glory. The commanders never need to worry about the individual pricing or pay of their men, but when surrounded, bloodied and desperate for reinforcements, even the most brave ogres will break. It's kind of like the idea, like, kind of understand, like, these guys are recruited from anybody. They are a mishmash coalition. They fight for pay, they fight for glory. You never need to worry about the individual pricing or pay for their men. But when it's surrounded, bloodied, it's gonna be a thing. You're gonna have to work. Pips and powder. So, a fighting unit has only three abilities: fire, morale, and shock. Similar to the commander. similar to their similar to their command staff. Similar to their command staff, these reflect their ability, their skill at arms, in the field battle. Unlike they will to begin the creation process. Let's see. Reflect. To begin the creation process, the fighting unit will purchase, quote unquote, purchase pips to distribute among their abilities. Purchase distribute among their abilities. Each unit. So we put fire represents the unit, the fighting units for firepower and ability to hit their targets. Shock represents the unit's ability in melee combat. Finally, morale represents the devastating effect the unit has on the hope of their rivals. A maximum of 10 in any ability. Representing the apex, representing the best they can possibly be. These pips enable let's see. These pips enable the unit to fight effectively and resourcefully, but can shift dramatically, and while if they suffer extreme losses or a new influx of men. Nothing will truly defeat the veterancy of the battle, but nothing will truly defeat the veterancy of the battlefield as they improve and grow closer to one another. So it's kind of the idea, like we're explaining. I want to explain a little bit more, like what's actually going on. Like, why are we buying the pips? Why are we doing this? It's like veterancy is in. I want to get across the idea of veterancy. Veteran. That's a word. I damn well know that's a word. I'm just not spelling something right. Veterancy. It is a word. Veterancy. It is a word. Why? Veterancy. Yeah. Nothing will. It's enabled you fight effectively and resourceful, which can shift dramatically should something like some men. Every battle hardens the survivors, allowing them to push forward. And grow in skill together. Every battle. There we go. We kind of explain this a little bit more. Training, cost of pips. We can probably. Can we fit this entire thing on here? No, we can't fit the entire thing, can we? We do one too. We can almost fit the entire. If we do we do this, we can almost fit the entire thing in here. Yeah, we can fit the entire section in here on one page. Doesn't look great, but how would you go about making a Battle Buddy a TRPG? You don't. Mostly because Ball Buddy's joke is that it's like, here's a classic fantasy thing, but it's funny. It's goofy. That's the entire point. You don't really do that unless you start doing like some weird humor. Like, you would effectively need to make some like, it would be a big joke. That would be the idea. You would need to make a very large, convoluted joke about things. So, I did finally get the, I got some documentation in for a new, commission project. It's a battle harem TRPG, so have no fear, McDrewsalt. Have no fear, we're doing a fucking battle harem RPG now. Awesome. That'll go on the list somewhere. I need to review it and see how much it's gonna be, though, but... Oof. Oh, yeah. Because I cannot escape Coomerisms. We should know that by now. What happens? Let's play a game. What happens if I do? Tell me, Batman. Oh, I can't even do it because the fucking tables are here. I can't do that because the tables. I fucking hate Google Docs, but it's the only thing I fucking have. So, fighting units main component of the soldiers inside of it. Each comes standard issue kit and small personal effects they wish to carry. Each soldier must be purchased with RQ, with the replacement soldiers being more expensive in the field. Go. So, each soldier is a rifle and a body. Not only will the unit struggle. Actually, each soldier is a body. They not only represent the amount of men readily available to shoot, stab, or march, but also their ability, but also their survival chance. Each soldier acts as the fortitude of the unit. As the men are killed, its fighting ability begins to plummet. As the fortitude of the unit, if fortitude ever reaches 0, the unit has been wiped out to a man. And what few survivors are left are either fleeing or we want to re-emphasize the fact that they are bodies. A fighting unit may only be one unit type. No mixing and matching. So, and the roster out a bit, just numbers. So, We zoom in. Okay. We're gonna play a game. Napoleonic. Infantry war game roster. Like what enemy, like what would be available? Skirmishers. Trying to think. What am I thinking of? I am going Bananarama insane. I'm silly, everybody. Let me think. Gotta think of something, cause I'm kind of stupid, because I don't fucking know these things, and I thought I did, but I didn't, because I forgot, because of me. Da 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 da. Do I have any ospreys already? I don't know if I do. I should have one. Do I got anything to talk about? I don't know. Oh no! Oh no! I know for a fact I have you. I'm like going through my folder like rapidly right now, by the way. That's that's what's going on. I'm rapidly going through my folder. We've got black powder. Like, okay, Warlord Games, do not disappoint me. Tell me about our men. Tell me more about men. Men. I want to know about men. Shooting, bow contest, terrain command, troops in line, quick reference sheets. Do 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 dum dum dum. Regulars and irregular, like effectively drill troop to assume a variety of tasks. Oh geez. These brave Highlanders prepare to repel a horde of bloodthirsty fuzzy wuzzies. Fuzzy wuzzies. Alright, we gaming. Alright, so, oh no. Changing formation. We're not really dealing with changing formation. I just want to know what fucking men we have. Quick reference sheet. Infantry, cavalry, artillery, infantry, cavalry, infantras. Tell me more about building a list. All I wanna know how to build a list of men. Okay, line infantry, cavalry, cuirassiers, regular infantry, warband artillery. Okay, that's it. That's all we have to work with. Alright, okay, alright. Let's not use this anymore. That's not working. Let's see. Do we got like... Going down to high school, go back to high school, ba-da-da-dum. You know, duty and honor, that works. Eagles, I don't believe we do. Let's check this one out. This is an osprey. This is an osprey I picked up not too long ago. Chosen men. It's not the correct... The thing is, this is not the correct scale. Because the scale is more like this, like more individualistic. So, like riflemen. Like, let's check, like artillery, like oh no, hussars, Ulhans, Landwehr, musketeers, fusiliers, carbineers. Oh god, there's all equipment. No. Oh no. Okay, so maybe this isn't what I'm looking for here, because that's not Waterloo. Waterloo allies. Portuguese, Peninsular War. Not really that much to work with here. See, this is why I want to go to Osprey, because this artwork looks baller and perfect for what I want to do with it. It would look beautiful and exactly how I would want things to look. Like this. God, I'd kill for this. This right here. Sexo. Sexo! Okay, maybe we don't look at war games anymore. Do we have anything else to work with here? Maybe we console... Maybe hold fast nations at war? Because then it's line infantry, grenadiers, guards. Would guard count? High commander excellence in melee. Rank and file, orderly. Like I guess this would count. Because currently it's line infantry, grenadiers. Pretty much line infantry is your basic bitch soldier. These are your basic. These are like what I would consider like your main infantry. Light infantry and line infantry and grenadiers. Those are your main guys. Grenadiers are bigger and tougher, but line infantry is clearly like boom boom, I'm ready to fucking go. You want to give grenadiers more stuff, they're bigger guys. Fusiliers versus Jaegers are your light infantry. These are your guys moving around. These are the much smaller units, but usually a little bit more effective. Cavalry is based on the size of horse. Cuirassiers have heavy horses. Chasers have very fast horses. They're like cavalry effectively, and dragoons are your the middle of the road cavalry. So, do we add anything else? I don't know. Because I said like, oh, well, you know, having more would be good, but I don't know. I don't know. Where would I guess like the way that I would want to do it is like add in a new like pretty much add in like the best of the best kind of down here. Those would be what I would want to do. If anything, we could probably tone these ones down to like 1250. That would work. Actually, we can probably do like 1200, keep it all divisible by 3. By 2 at least. Cuirassiers 200 unless we do actually if we keep it at like 1500. That's a lot of fucking dudes, but that's the entire point, is that you're supposed to have a lot of dudes. It's 1500 health effectively at maximum, but you won't be able. if we change it to 12, if we change it to even like 1200, we change these to 1200, but again, you're kind of like these mercenary things, so that's kind of fine. 600 riflemen, we can probably tone you down to like 500 riflemen. 200, 200, 200, but this is hellishly expensive. Like, this is 600 to get up to a full... Unless we bump you up to 250. If we bump you up to 250... So, this would be to get a full complement of men in a... Yeah, so this is 250 RQs to get just all your get a full complement, full squadron, effectively, of chasers, but they're still going to get mulched. You need 500 by all your dragoons, and you still don't have all your equipment yet. For this, it would be 250 times 3. It would be 750. Like, you couldn't even afford to get all of them for cavalry. But that's the idea, is that you're not really supposed to be like a full complement yet. Maybe we do if we do average, so 600 would be, if we do 600 divided by 5, that would be 120 RQ to get 600 soldiers, which is not bad. So if we do that, so 600... Mm-hmm. $275, if we do that correctly, 275, 55, we don't want that. We're gonna bump up the RQ cost here just a little bit. Maybe we do like 4-2. If we do 4-2, can we do 275? What's 275 times 2? That's 550. You can't actually even afford that. If we do 1-2. So with this one, you would need... If we do like 200 here, that would be 400 out of our 500. So that would be 275 times 4, 1,000. No, that's not what I'm looking for. It would be... This is 100 RQ for this. So that's 275 times 2. What am I fucking looking at? The 4. 1 to 2. No, that's 275 divided by... For 2 soldiers, so 270. It would be... We do 250. If we do 250, what's 250 divided by 2? Like 250 divided by 2 would be 125 of your RQ. So it's a fifth of your RQ just buying the men. And you're still going to have a little bit left over. However, if we do 250 divided by 4, it becomes about 62.5. Welcome to game development, everybody, where I stare at where I stare at my fucking wall and die a little inside every time I look at it. Generally speaking, how much does it take to get 100 soldiers? 100 soldiers. How much does it take to get 100 soldiers in a unit? Okay, let's just do a little bit of math here. 100 soldiers. It takes 20 RQ. It's gonna take... Actually, you know what we can do? We can do, RQ per 100 soldiers. So that would be 1 for 5 soldiers. So it would be 20 RQ for 100 soldiers. If I want to get 100 soldiers here, that would be, since it's 1 for 3, you get 1 RQ. 1 RQ equals 3 men. 3 men, so you spend 33 RQ, you get 33, you would get 11. So if you spent 99, it would get, if I spent 100 RQ. If I spent 100 RQ on it, I would get 300 men. No, we do, how do I get 100? How do I get 100 soldiers here with grenadiers? You don't get 100 soldiers because it's not divisible by fucking 5. Fuck. I spend 1 arc. Okay, I'm gonna write this out for myself because I'm fucking terrible at. So if I do this correctly, so if I'm doing the math in my head correctly, which I'm probably not, I spend fucking pen. I spend 1 RQ. I hate my fucking pencils. Got some stupid fucking pencils in the UK. They are the worst goddamn thing I've ever bought. They are terrible. 1 RQ for 3. You get 3 soldiers. I want to get 100 men. How much would I need? 100 men. How much would I spend? So that would be 100 divided by, it would be 100 divided by 3. You would need to spend 30 RQ. 33.3 if I'm doing my math. 33.3. So it's 100 men. Mm. 33.3. Yeah, you can't even get it because it's fucking 1 out of 3. Yeah, welcome to even numbered math with notepad. Yeah, math. Love math. Fucking love math. Ah, Jesus Christ almighty, please. Fucking. If I want to purchase 100 men, pretty fucking, because you get 3 soldiers for every 1 art. So it would be, how much do you get for 100 art? Actually, no. We want to do. Hello, phone. What's up, phone? What do you feel like chatting about? What? Yeah, welcome to Game Design 101, everybody. This is my favorite part of game design, where I get to stare at like little numbers and debate with myself about the nature of them and why they are the way they are. It's great. Do we just say fuck it and just not worry about it? But it feels like I should worry about it because Okay, let's just do a quick run through. I want to make a unit. I want to make we'll make an infantry. We'll make an infantry battalion. Make an infantry battalion. We go down here. What do we want to do? We're going to make regular. Okay. We're going to make regular. That's going to cost us 40. We get 4 pips to assign. Cool. Blooded men. How many men do we want for our line infantry? We need a minimum of 300. We need a minimum of 300. That's minimum going to be 300 divided by 5, if I recall correctly. So that would be 300 divided by 5, which is going to be a total of 60. It's going to be 60 RQ, minimum to purchase. That's what we need to get. We want to be, let's say we want to get, we'll say 500, we'll say 600 men. We want to get 600. 600 divided by 5. 600 divided by 5 is 120. We've spent 120 RQ. Okay, easy enough to understand. We're about halfway through. We're right in the middle. Oofy owie zowie my bony wonies. You know how it goes. So that means we go down here, we determine all that, then we do cohesion, which we would then buy cohesion at, let's say we're hardened as well. That means we've also spent 40 as our RQ, so that's 80, that's 200 RQ already. That's 200 RQ that we've bought. Then we would have to spend it on guns, which we're going to have to move the guns. So if we spend it on guns, so we say, what if we just say long-barreled musket, late, we don't have to buy it anymore, we're fine. But then we go down to melee weapons. Let's say we want to buy axes for everybody. 600 times point, that would be 600 times 0.03. That'd be 18 RQ to buy it for everyone. So that buying an axe for everybody is 18 RQs. We go down to armor. We're not going to buy armor for everyone because why would we do that? If we buy exterior equipment, that's going to be 600. 600 times 600 times 0.1. 0.1 is going to be 60 as well. So in total, we've spent 200. No, we've spent, 200, 218, 278. 278 we've spent on everything, and we've gotten a lot of shit. We don't even have to buy an artillery piece like that. What? Maybe we should reduce the total cost of... Maybe we reduce it down to... fucking lower? We reduce it to about, let's say, like 300. If we say 200, let's say even fucking 250 RQ per commander. Because if we do it 250 RQ per commander, you can't afford everything. Because if you do 250, like, this already, for 600 men, that's where a lot of that money is going to go. That's 600 men, though. That's a lot. And nobody else really is going to need 600 men except, infantry regiments. But, buying regular and hardened is like you're already going to be getting pretty good. So if you want to upgrade it there, you're going to have to be kind of cutting into that little bit. And you're always going to get a starting weapon. Like, that's just kind of like right off the bat. You're always going to get a starting weapon. Because you're always going to get a starting weapon, that should be fine with cost. If you want to buy anything better with that weapon. If you want to buy other things, if you want to buy equipment, more stuff, more gear, or whatever, you're going to have to buy it. And that's going to be money you don't have, because it's also going to be your replacement money. Starting off pretty much. So that's 250 with a group of 4. That's going to be 1,000 RQ to spend That also means somebody is going to be more encouraged to take militia units, kind of like lower quality units right off the bat, because that means they can buy artillery pieces. You might have smaller units, and that's fine, because you can't afford everything. You physically cannot afford every single thing. Yeah, you'd have to burn legitimately everything to get, like, your cuirassiers. Like, you would have to burn everything to get your chasers up that amount. Unless we do... Unless we do this. If we do this, that means we should bump up the quality of the Jaegers. Well, these guys are already kind of a raw increase. We increase the Grenadiers to 2/3s. But they're very expensive. Like, they've got good stamina. The Jaegers got pretty good movement over the Fusiliers. So if we do it like this, that means if I want to buy a shit ton of Grenadiers, if I wanted to buy with 250, if I wanted to buy 100 Grenadiers, that's going to set me back up. That's going to set me to back 50 RQ to buy 100 Grenadiers, and I have to buy 300 of them minimum. If I have to buy 300 of these guys a minimum, that's going to be 150 RQ right off the bat. Like, minimum. I'm going to have to spend that much. But that's 150, so I get 100 more to play with. If I get 100 more to play with, that means I can go maybe, like, regular. We can do regulars. That's going to bring us down to 40. And then we can do, when we get down to cohesion, we've got 60 points to play with, so we can still do regular hardened men and get that, but we can't just immediately go up to, like, unbreakable or steel. Like, we'll have 20 to fuck around with, so I may be able to buy, like, one more piece of equipment. But that's still not a lot. So with that remaining 20, I could probably spend it on 10 more men. I'd be on 20, 30, 40 more men, I believe that would be. So if we do that, that would be a total of 170. So it would be 170 times 2. We'd do 170 times 2. So we would be able to buy all of that. So we would be able to... We'd have 340. That means the Jaegers are going to have a shit ton more. You're going to have a lot more stuff to work with the Jaegers and the Fusiliers. But with the Jaegers and Fusiliers, you're going to want to buy better equipment. You are a lot less hardy. You are a lot less enduring, effectively. You don't have enough, and your stamina's worse overall. And because your stamina's worse overall, you're going to be having to worry about other things. So we need to bump up the stats in different locations. For the Cuirassiers, Chasers, and Dragoons, do I lower down the value? Because with 250, if we do 250, that would mean 250... That's not a lot. If I want to buy 50 Cuirassiers, that's 150 minimum. For the Cuirassiers, that's 50. That's 150 investment right off the bat to get those. Chasers, to get their minimum, would just be 50. While the Dragoons would be, to get their 50 would be 100. So if I invested everything, let's say we already have our minimums. So let's say, for example, we have 160. By investing the 80 in becoming hardened regulars, Cuirassiers, you have fucking 10 to work with anymore. You can't buy anything else, pretty much. You've got the bare minimum. You're talented, but you've got it. You've got the heavy horses, that's it. Chasers, that would mean you have 250, 200... 160. $260. So let's see, 250 minus the 50, that'd be 200, minus the 80, that'd be 120. With 120, you can do a lot more. You can buy a lot more equipment. You can bump up your numbers, but you're gonna need, because you're just fast. You have no stamina. Dragoons, on the other hand, with 100, that would be 250. 250, 150 minus the 80. That would be 57. You'd have 70 left. That means you can afford a few more men, but not a super ton. But you are going to probably want to invest in better equipment because you're dragoons, and that's your. Yeah. Okay. Is that what I'm? Unless we change the costs of the RQ costs. Do we want the minimum to be regulars? Do we want people to gravitate toward becoming a regular? Because with a regular, you have 7 pips to distribute among 3 categories. So that's going to be an average of about 2. That's going to be about an average per 2. Your standard spread as a regular is going to be 3-2-2. That is fine. That's 2d6. You got to think about it like that. 2d6 is 3d6. Isn't very high. With a good commander, you can be rolling a good chunk of dice, but that's the purpose. We want that. So if we want to gravitate toward that, currently it's at a 20, 40, 60, 80. Currently in 20 interval. Maybe we scale it differently because we don't want people with super high elite veteran troops right off the bat. So maybe we do, because 40 is kind of fucking. Maybe we jack that down to 30. 10, 30. 10, 0, 10, 30, 60, 90. No, 10, 30, no, 10, 10, 30, 60, 100. You can't buy elite. If you buy elite, you're going to be most likely, if you are buying elites, you're going to be going down for Fusiliers. You're going for these guys because you need to be good. You're not going to be spending as much. You get a full complement of line infantry. It's not that expensive, but you're going to be burning almost half your starting RQ unless some people are working with together. And 30, 60 things might be right for better. I mean, if we go for regular, if we assume the default is going to be regular, there, then we go down here. We've got a good amount of troops. If we really want to do, we want to get autistic math. You know what? We can probably get a little bit of autistic math. I think that would be appropriate. How about we do this like this, and we, oh my goodness, look how pretty this is. Oh my goodness, look, so nice. Here's all the men. Oh my goodness, they're all marching in order. Oh my goodness, it's nice. Oh my goodness, amazing. Oh my goodness. But what we're going to be doing is, surprise, surprise, we're going to be doing autistic math. Because I can't escape my personal nightmare of being a complete fucking autist. Hell yeah. So much fun. I have rampantly undiagnosed schizophrenia. Da-da-da, hell yeah. So we do I'm just gonna call it a dev note because that's literally what this is going to be. Dev note. The price for the RQ price for minimum slash maximum amount for minimum plus maximum. Line infantry is going to be 300 divided by 5, 300 divided by 5, 60 and 240 is 60 slash 240. Line infantry, grenadiers, that's going to be 150, and that would be 600. Fusilier would be for your minimum. The absolute minimum, you need to spend 30. For the maximum, 500 divided by 5 would be 100. But your Jaegers, on the other hand, they're going to be spending for 50. You're going to spend 25 for a maximum of 250. Yes, that's going to be 3 for 50. So it's 3 for 1. So you need to spend 150 or 250 times 3 effect. It's 250 would be 250 times 5, right? Yeah, it'd be 150 times 5. So that would be 150 times 5. That would be 750. 750. Which would lead to chasers being 50, 50, 250. That one's simple. Which are dragoons, and dragoons would be 100, 500. Like, this is literally nothing but like math for myself. No maximum infantry. Fusilier. We do this as linear. That means you're going to be a default of, you're going to end up with about 7, and that's fine because you're going to be getting veterancy fairly regularly, depending on the battle outcomes, and that's fine. Chasers don't really have a good name for them because that's fucking wet. Why are you looking up Napoleonic era? Should I be looking up different districts of a city or parts of a town? Why am I looking up Napoleonic stuff is, you're going to be amazed, Solid, when you learn that this entire game is Napoleonic era. If you want to look up stuff like that, then yeah, look up, like, honestly, look for things that are related to what you're doing. That's important. It sounds kind of silly to say, but it is true. Like, change if needed, skirmishers. During Napoleonic era, soldiers carried around 60 to 80 pounds worth of supplies. British 95th Rifle kit contained the following: uniform, 2 shirts, 2 pairs of stockings, 2 pairs of extra souls and heaters, pair of treasure, greatcoat, blanket, basic grooming, mess kit, fighting equipment, and weapon of choice. So, qualities of a good soldier. So if we go down here. So, line infantries are most basic. They have a maneuver of 1. That means they can move 1. If we want to break down the ideas, is that infantry is slow, slow, laborious. Infantry is slow but hardy. Tanks. The infantry brigade, your infantry is not brigade, it would be battalion. Your battalion is supposed to be like a brick shithouse. These are a lot of men designed to take a punch. There's a lot of them, there's a lot of you. You throw them at the enemy and they die. And they're supposed to soak up hits. They're not supposed to be the most the biggest, not supposed to be anything like that. They're supposed to go fairly slow. Grenadiers, we can move you. We put you down to one maneuver for you. These guys are going to be moving pretty quickly, but your stamina is going to be pretty low. If we do something like this, no, we do 2 stamina, 1. Fusilier, you're going to have 1 stamina. Jaegers are going to have 2 stamina, but they are very fast by themselves. Your light infantry, you're designed to move quickly, but you're not really designed to take punches. Infantry, you can force the infantry to go fast in a direction. You want the infantry to go, you're going to go fast. Stamina, on the other hand, for the cuirassiers, chasers, and dragoons. Chasers are supposed to be fast. Chasers are light infantry. They should be the fastest. Dragoons should be not as fast. Their stamina is... What are you spending stamina for? Or stamina? Stamina. Choose to expend stamina for additional orders, while other actions require stamina to be used regardless. So you're going to be using stamina to do multiple. Stamina is the amount of orders you can do per thing. So Cuirassier is going to have low stamina. Actually, they're going to... If we want to do this, if we do something like this, they move the slowest. But Cuirassiers have higher stamina. Chasers have the lowest amount of stamina because you're going to be doing one thing, kind of thing. It's like you got to go in, you got to go out, and you got to pull the fuck back. We do it like maybe like this. If we kind of base it around this, that means Dragoon's got a shit ton of stamina. I mean, if we break it down to even like this, 3-2-3-1-2, that means the chasers have very low stamina. You have very limited multiple action. When you're looking at Napoleonic and should I be looking at different districts of city or parts of a town? Yes. Yes, you should be doing that, solid. Stamina is going to be used for multiple actions per turn. I want everyone to have at least stamina. Stamina being the idea that this is a resource being able to be to manipulate in your stamina. The better you stamina. Maybe perhaps we tie stamina to instead. if we give everybody like one, like no. Ugh. Exhausted, and if engaged in combat, you'll take +5 additional cohesion damage until they are able to recover. So, line infantry want to keep their stamina solid, but they can recover stamina. They want to be recovering stamina pretty regularly. Fusiliers have very low stamina. Chasers have very low stamina. But you're going to be maneuvering into the correct position and attacking. You want to do a charge action. You rush in, you break them, and you haul ass. You don't want to be in combat for too long with chasers. The longer you're in combat with a chaser, the worse you're going to be doing. You want to get into position, you want to harass their artillery, you want to pretty much pull out just as fast as you are trying to pull in, but you also have the ability to recover stamina pretty regularly. However, maybe we can do training up here. We tie this to we tie that to bonus stamina. If we tie it to bonus stamina, we have to introduce the concept of stamina. No, we want people to use... We can even do that with like militia. We like give them a penalty, like a straight up penalty to it. Then we do it like 1, 2. Even having like 2 extra stamina is pretty big, because that means that's 2. You can pretty much burn that for more things. But that's going to effectively mean 3, 4, 5. Actually 4, 3, 5. Okay. The better trained you are, the more stamina you have. If you're not very trained, you're not doing very good. If you're a militia of Fusiliers, that effectively means you are kind of garbage. You're a garbage bin kind of thing. Like, you are not prepared for this. You are a bunch of fucking hackneyed farmers with rifles. You're gonna break very quickly. However, if you are... Yeah, so it's like, no, if you're like militia cuirassiers, that's being like militia with a fucking big ass horse. You still have a lot of stuff to do. Maybe we treat the unit type as a stamina bonus? No, go with my gut. Go with my gut. We don't do... But that means we gotta introduce... That does mean we have to introduce this section earlier. We have to introduce this up here. We have to introduce it like this. So it's like, okay, blood and men. This is what you're going to be buying first. We've introduced this. Go to the qualities of good soldier. We move exactly to pips and powder. And then we don't have this anymore. Then we move to cohesion and courage. Because then we move to if we move to cohesion and courage, that's allowing us to get a little bit more room to maneuver, because we can do that. We have to drop this particular image, but maybe we can do that. We can probably slap that in here. So what this would be is... Okay. So what we would do is the cohesion, where training represents the skill at represents the skill of the unit. Cohesion represents their ability to work together efficiently. Represents their ability to work together efficiently. Work together before becoming shaken, or breaking outright. Let's see. Cohesion. Cohesion is targeted. Cohesion drops as the unit comes under fire. Cohesion drops as a unit comes under fire, while they losing men as. Let's see. Cohesion drops as the unit comes under fire, falling as their comrades around them. Starting from eager, moving to shaken, and broken, and finally shattering. An eager unit is at full cohesion. Full cohesion and ready to fight. Being reduced to half of that total. Will drop them shaken. Shaken units take tips as cohesion damage. Taken units. Actually, no, we can probably. We put this in a table. No, we put this in a table. Trainer represents. Wrapped in the closet. Cohesion drops as the unit comes under fire. Well, as unready and by half cohesion. Lose by half cohesion, and they become shaken. At shaken, the unit will take double the attacking unit's morale as attacking unit's morale pips as cohesion damage. After falling a quarter of their full cohesion, the unit will triple the attacking morale pips as cohesion, granting the M an additional plus 2d6 to all checks. That's still awkward. Unless I do something like this and we put you down here, and what I'm like a quick reference, because like it's like me mixing everything in the middle here. I know what I want to do with this. Maybe we do oh, that's We put it in the fucking... Do we put it somewhere else? I don't know. It's like 9 o'clock. I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna keep looking at this. Kind of see how I can manage this in my head. Because it's just layout right now. Honest to God, it is just layout. I legitimately just need to sit here and like, how can I lay this out nicer to make sure everything fits together easier? And it's not fitting together easily at all. Like, mind you, we're not even to the combat section yet. Like, we're not even to like the main fucking meat. Like, this shit, we're not even close to this yet. Like, that's not... Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I'm not looking... Yeah, no, I need to think on this. If you have any suggestions, feel free to tell me. I'm more than willing to help. For the help. That would be nice. But maybe I'll just talk to myself. Godspeed. Good luck. I'll see you all tomorrow at noon EST for another Entering the Grind.